Action. My mom just asked me how things went with me at the doctor the other day. And I said, they took my blood. And she said, who took your blood? And I'm like, some guy. That sounds so ridiculous. But it's 100% true. Some stranger took my blood away from me the other day. I just read that NASA is hiring a person to protect us, Earth, from aliens. One person, that's it. Somebody was like, who we got on aliens? Who's Jeff? All right, Jeff will get it. Jeff's good. Do you think he gets made fun of when everybody goes out on Friday for happy hour? Hey Jeff, do you save the Earth from any aliens this week? But Jeff's tired of the bullshit, so he already has a witty comeback in his back pocket, and he says, well, we're still here, aren't we? Jim, eat a dick. You're a piece of shit. So that was what I've been thinking about. Long time watcher, first time writer-inner. Writer-inner? When I started university about 3 years ago, I met a girl and we became close and we started dating. It was the first time I had ever been with anyone. Been with anyone? The first time you've ever been with anyone? You ever go into an elevator? And it was everything I've ever dreamed. And during this time, I made the cliche mistake of bringing her into our band. Oh no! Who wants to bet that what follows is a consequence of a questionable decision? If this video isn't called "That's Why We Don't Do That," then yell at me in the comments below. Long story short, we were together for 2 years and it eventually went south and we broke up. You or the band? Because that's pretty good for a band. Anyway, this was about 6 months ago and she's already been in a couple relationships since and still is with the most recent. What if she was still with not the most recent? Scandalous. When we broke up, I unfollowed all of her social media, etc., and I did my best not to have much contact with her. Good for you! You did the thing. You did that. No, that's good. That's the best thing. Who am I talking to? But our band is really important to me and I'm glad she's our singer, and our university course has another 1.5 years and we have to see each other for a few times a week. All of this would be fine if I wasn't a baby seriously struggling to move on. Oh, and deal with having to see her so much. But I was just wondering if you had any suggestions. You're not a baby because you're bummed out by having to see your ex-girlfriend all the time. You're an idiot for inviting her into the band. I'm just kidding. When I typed that, it made me laugh. Somebody's having a problem with a dog. Rule number 1 to having a band with your friends is to quit when as soon as it's not fun. Rule number 2 is always help the drummer with their shit. First question you gotta ask is, am I still having fun in the band? Because if you are, there's no reason to leave the band. Eventually get over all that other bullshit. What you're learning by seeing her all the time is just that sometimes life sucks and that's unavoidable. Good news is, life never stays same. You ever hear anyone say that? What you're feeling right now is temporary. It's all gonna change, so do what a musician does and write songs about it and passive aggressively present them to the band. Idiot. If you learn to still make the band work and fun, then you are more of a grown-up than a lot of grown-ups. That's called professionalism. Every band has at least one person with it. The Beatles had Paul McCartney. Van Halen had Edward Van Halen. I'm pretty sure Incubus has a guy. Paramore is still a band. There you go. 9 times out of 10, I would say it's a bad idea to invite your girlfriend to be part of the band, because the band is business. Would you say to your girlfriend, hey, come be my boss, come be my COO, you're my BOO? Because people used to say that. Spelled differently though. Do that unless she makes the band way better, and then just get good at pretending that your relationship never happened. That's it. Just pretend that it never happened in the first place. Pretending is important in a band setting. I pretended for years that I didn't hate my bass player. I'm just kidding. I love that kid very much, with all my heart. Half of my first book is about breaking up the bands because of him a bunch of times. But he's my brother. He's family, and I haven't called him in a long time. Having some flashbacks now. It doesn't matter. He's not gonna watch this. Anyway, I'm gonna send it to him. I hope that this was helpful. Come see me do stand-up. I'm at the Irvine Improv August 3rd through the 6th with Andrew Santino. And then I'm at a bunch of different improvs with the Hodge twins. Come hang out. Alright? Follow me on Twitter, and I put all my dates on my website. And come hang out with it. Come hang out with me.